Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 546 of FRL. Kyle Brackey filling in for the either on vacation or fired Christian Piles. You'll find out next week. Once again, joined by JD Rader in this amazing Brett Favre shirt. I mean, that is incredible stuff. And Ben Askren is with us from Wisconsin. Ben, were you a big Brett Favre fan?
Who's not a Brett Favre fan? Everyone's a Brett
That's
Favre
right.
fan.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I'm not even a huge Packer fan, but just wherever Brett Favre goes.
I love it.
And I had a lot of people reach out to me yesterday, very concerned that my BFF, Big Mouth Billy Bass, is not here, but there's very good reason he is not here. Big Mouth Billy Bass might be haunted.
Yeah,
Demented.
some crazy stuff is going on. He has that Big Mouth Billy. I can't even say it.
Big Mouth Billy Bass.
Big Mouth Billy Bass has him sitting on the desk out there. And on Friday, it is literally just Christian and I in the office in the early morning. And I just walk by it to go get a drink. And it just goes off. Like, he just starts singing.
Yeah, it started just going off randomly, so.
We had to, literally take the batteries out of it, turn it off.
If it still kept singing once you took the batteries out, then I would be impressed, Kyle.
Yeah. Can't risk it bringing it into the studio, though.
We can't have any distractions.
Non-haunted vibes only in here.
Yeah, it was really creepy because it was raining and dark out on Friday. It was a little spooky. Nice. But we digress. Starting the show off with news that is not fun to talk about, but something that we kind of have to.
We kind of knew it was coming too. I mean, I heard about this a long time ago. I didn't know when it was actually going to come out. We decided not to say it before we knew what the deal was. But yeah, Daton Fix got popped.
Yeah, and like you said, we kind of known about it for a while. I think everyone has kind of known about it for a while, and it was just waiting to see what was going to come of it. Mm-hmm. How long the suspension would be, what it was for, all this stuff. And we learned some more details. So Daton, it was an out of competition test. I think January 22nd. It was
right after he got home from Mateo Pelicone.
Yes, right after he got home from Mateo Pelicone, where he was fifth. He lost to Thomas Gilman there, and it was Ostarine, which is illegal. And
sort of.
It's not approved by the FDA.
What do you mean sort of illegal?
So it is not approved by the FDA, so you cannot just sell it. But there's a back way around. You can sell it as long as it says on the bottle, not FDA approved, not for human consumption, or as a chemical testing drug. So you still can kind of sell it, but you're not going to pick it up at a Walmart. But if you just want to go online and buy Ostarine, you can.
But it's banned by USADA, obviously.
Yes, it is banned by USADA.
Yeah, this is in a category. So when I helped my buddy open a CrossFit gym, and this is when I was younger, a little more in shape, probably, I don't know, 7 years ago. I was doing some of the workouts. I said, listen, I am not a great weightlifter or runner by any sense of the imagination, but I've been around some really great ones, right? Guys who are really powerful and really got great cardio. And I was watching the times that some of these CrossFit guys are putting up, and I told my buddy, I'm like, these dudes are on some serious shit. I don't know what they're on. They're on it. Probably all of it. And he's like, no, they drug test. And I'm like, listen, I see what numbers these guys are putting up, and they are freaking astronomical. There's no way they're clean. And so he ended up going to the CrossFit World. He did not qualify, but he went to spectate at the CrossFit Worlds. And I said, hey, you getting dirt on what everyone's on? And he said, everyone's on these things called SARMs, which is this is a SARM. I think this stands for selective androgen muscle receptor or something like that.
Receptor modulator.
That's it. Okay. Yeah. And this falls in that category. And I think one of the things that it doesn't, and why it's good for wrestling, and I know a bunch of I said good for wrestling. Hello. Good for wrestling and MMA people are. And MMA people have got popped for this. Quite a few of them actually.
Your boy, Sean O'Malley.
Is that what he got popped for?
Yeah.
Oh God, I think John Jones too, right?
I don't know what
his
John
was
Jones was.
Tyranobol, right? Oral trainable.
Was it?
Well, he's
Okay.
gotten popped a couple times, so
Yeah, he got popped a few times. So anyways, but I guess it lets you get stronger and doesn't have you add too much mass. So I guess that's the
yeah,
deal.
it's very common with bodybuilders as well because it is good at building muscle without fat and like taking back fat. But it's a little different than a normal anabolic steroid, and since they're still pretty new, that's why it's not approved yet or anything, but like super popular still because people think it has less side effects than steroids, but there's not enough research yet to back it up or to confirm that.
Yeah.
Got it.
So there were a lot of just untruths flying around on Twitter yesterday when all this news came out.
Untruth.
So I just want to kind of go line by line through it and like facts only. So January 22nd has the positive test. What's going on, Ben?
I'll be right back. Give me 5 seconds.
All right. January 22nd has the test, an out of competition test when he's back in Stillwater. He finds out in February that it came back. They popped for Austrian, and he's like, I don't know, like I don't take anything with that in. I never knowingly took that, and they sent all the supplements he was taking from before the test and after to a lab to get it tested to see if, because apparently what a lot of these supplement places will do is just put it in there and not say anything.
Yes,
Or
I've heard that's popular.
yeah, or lie about it not being in there. And so they sent all of Daton's supplements to a lab in LA. They test all of them. None of them have Osterine. And so they start trying to figure out how he could have ingested this stuff. And that's when his dad, Derek, says, hey, I've been using this stuff.
Come on, man. Why is Daton Fix trying to get jacked?
I don't know.
He said in the documents, it said he was referred by Chris Perry.
Why they got to bring Chris Perry's name in it, though?
This is just what is in the...
This is what's in the documents.
Why couldn't he say my buddy? I mean, come on, man. That's ridiculous. So I read through the whole document this morning from USADA. You know what? It was more believable. When I first read it, I'm like, oh, God, this is like the dog ate my homework type of crap. But I have to balance it with, I like Daton. He's one of my favorite lightweights. I love his competitive spirit, and he seems like an honest person. So you got to balance that with the fact that he did pop. And, you know, obviously being in the MMA world, you see a lot more, positive tests than you do in the wrestling world. It's really rare in wrestling. It's relatively common in MMA. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm having a hard time
now
thinking that he's genuinely innocent.
They did get a doctor approved and said that the levels in his body were concurrent with taking one gulp of a mixture.
Yes, he had very low levels of it in his test. His B sample came back with the same result. And what I found interesting is that USADA agreed that he did not take this intentionally, and that's why his suspension is only a year. It would be longer.
It would be 2 years.
Right, it would be 2 years if they had found or not believed that he had done this unintentionally. It's a crazy.
There's a lot of guys. I mean, there's a lot of guys that get their suspension reduced, though. I mean, John Jones, for example, one of the guys we brought up earlier, but there's been a whole bunch in MMA. I'm actually on the if you go to usada.org/news/sanctions, you can see all the positive tests in any sport. It's crazy how many mixed martial artists are on here for failing. And there is, I was actually looking for the Austrian. There is quite a bit of Austrian, and kind of in all sports. I've seen a weightlifter, a lot of mixed martial artists have popped for Austrian, triathlete, wrestling. I mean, right here, there's a whole bunch of guys, 4 in a row in MMA for Austrian. Nico Montano, Sean O'Malley, Marvin Vittori, Augusto Mendez, all Austrian, all MMA people. And they only got 6 month suspensions. It doesn't give you a description of why it was that limited.
Yeah. So, And someone asked an FRL question like why these things take so long to be announced, because I mean he was tested in January. He found out he'd come back and popped in February. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, Kyle. But USADA used to announce right away before they went through this the arbitration process, and since then they've said that they're not going to announce until it's all the way done, and they will not. USADA won't say anything unless the athlete says something first. If the athlete says something first, USADA will come in.
Yeah, that's what happened with Sean O'Malley. Like he was supposed to fight on a card, and then they just removed him from the card, and everyone was like, WTF? And then he was like, yeah, I popped for this, and we're going through a process, but.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
USADA won't say anything. Yeah. I agree. Definitely smart to wait.
Because then you get all the facts instead of just throwing it out there that this guy, this guy's guilty when it could have been some kind of accident.
But that whole arbitration process and appeal and everything and retesting, B sampling, sending in supplements, yada yada yada. That's why it's taken 7 months for this to. Can you
believe he had 10 supplements, though? I don't take 10 supplements. I've never taken 10 supplements.
I don't know. These guys take a lot now, I feel like.
I mean, it's probably like a vitamin, a fish oil, 1 protein powder, a pre-workout. That's only 4, though.
JD sounds like he's in the supplement game.
Yeah.
He is. He's in it deep. Yeah, I mean, that threw me off that he had 10 supplements that he wanted to try to see. The whole dad getting referred by Chris Perry, like, why is Chris Perry going to tell his dad to take Ostrine? That was weird. The other thing that threw me off, and listen, I've admitted on the show, I've gotten high one time in my life, and it was by a complete accident. And obviously, when something was off, right? When he has a positive, which is right after the event, it was within a week. It was like, okay, what happened to me today? Why am I feeling this way? And I literally, even though I was really high and I went through every single thing that happened to me today, and then I was like, oh, there was that thing that I ate in that person's refrigerator. What was that? Like someone told me it was a protein bar, and it very clearly wasn't. So it's like I think that would stick out as, I guess maybe there's no. Why wouldn't his dad said earlier that, hey, I'm on this thing that you tested positive for? Maybe you should try that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would it take him so long to come to that conclusion that, hey, I'm taking Ostrine, you tested positive for Ostrine. Well, maybe you drank some of my stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Question.
Yeah.
I don't know. As many, like, kind of questions the document answered and the press release answered, we still were left with a bunch of questions, and even more questions came up. Now, a lot of them, immediately people just saw the 1-year suspension and jumped to he won't be able to wrestle at Olympic trials. That's not true, because the suspension goes back to when
it's not exactly when he was tested, but when it came back positive. It ends early February.
I think February 10th.
Yeah, February 10th. So he will the NCAA does hold up or does agree with USADA. That's from citation 18.4.1.4.7
nerd
of the NCAA like rule book or whatever. That's been since 97. So he will be suspended by the NCAA, but because he can come back February 10th, he can still wrestle in Big 12s and NCAAs if he wants to. What I am
or he could but he could also Olympic redshirt. Just miss the whole year too.
Say, I'm unclear if your Olympic redshirt is affected if you are suspended technically throughout the season. But that
would be interesting to see, because technically he could still qualify for the Olympics, so he should get to Olympic redshirt, right?
That's what I would think as well. And if I was putting money down, I would say he would still qualify. But this is uncharted territory as far as I'm concerned, and there's no official rule that says you still qualify if you're suspended for the first half or whatever. So I would guess he would still be able to Olympic redshirt the entire year, but I am not 100% confident in saying that.
I would think that would be the case. It's also crazy. I'm just still scrolling through my thing. How many weightlifters? I guess you got to guess weightlifters are on the juice. There's so many of them testing positive. And then MMA also. MMA has such an insane amount of positive tests as compared to. mean, wrestling, I think I only saw 2 people. I'm pretty far back, a couple of years back. And I think I was on Daton, and then there was the one guy who just got recently, Dombrowski.
Yeah.
He got popped recently, but that's it for wrestlers. It's really few and far between, and not very many of them.
Well,
That's positive.
think about how pissed Jordan Oliver probably is when he tested positive. He missed the qualifier by 1 day, and Daton gets a 1-year suspension, and this is perfect timing that the Olympics gets pushed back 1 year, and he basically does not affect him at all. And Jo is affected for 2 years, basically.
Yeah, he's very lucky. I mean, because if coronavirus doesn't happen, he misses the Olympic trials. Yeah, it's insane timing.
Well, if coronavirus happens, he misses the Olympic trials, and then he can't wrestle till February 10th of this year, so he misses almost the entire regular season. The coronavirus, maybe
he can't
created the coronavirus.
We thought it
ruled that out as a possibility.
We thought it was Kale at first, so that he could prevent Iowa from winning NCAAs. But was it the fixes?
Who knows?
Yeah. Huh.
Man,
I have a hard time. No,
I am glad that he doesn't have to sit through Olympic trials. Be it whether you think that's fair or not, whatever. I'm happy that we get to watch Daton Fix wrestle at the Olympic trials.
Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. I feel like we're kind of being lied to. I feel like, I think USADA. What it comes down to for USADA is the fact that they can't prove that he didn't accidentally ingest it. So, that's kind of what they've done with a lot of MMA guys. Daton, if you did it, I forgive you. Don't do it again. Get clean. Drugs don't help that much. I think they help a little bit. I've never done them, so I can't say for sure. And I don't know. I guess he got lucky that it doesn't really affect him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, I hope to see him in Olympic trials. He's obviously going to be tested a lot before then, so he's going to have to be clean to be able to wrestle there. So I want to see him in the bracket.
That's the other thing with, and this, I mean, obviously, I'm not right on this one, but I always think like there's such a negative to. First of all, USADA is completely random. I've been under the protocol both in wrestling and MMA. Completely, they can just show up whenever the hell they want, right? And then number 2 would be that your suspension, their first suspension is 2 years. Obviously, you can get something like this where it does get reduced, but you can also get up to a 4-year suspension. It's like that is such a long time. Why would you risk taking stuff? And it's like, obviously I'm wrong because like I just went through the amount of probably 50 MMA people that tested positive in the last couple of years. It's absurd. Why are they risking that? It just doesn't seem worth the payoff, but obviously some people must think it is. And then the other thing is, obviously, I think wrestling is also way less prevalent PED use because we do only have 2 positive tests compared to an ungodly amount in mixed martial arts.
Well, I think mixed martial arts is a little different, where some people think everybody else is on this stuff and I'm watching them get away with it, so I can get away with it too, and I need it to be up to par with my competition. It's the whole bicycling thing too. If you watch like the Lance documentary where they were like, everyone's doing it, like you can't compete if you're not on it. It's a little bit different in MMA and wrestling, but I think some people do think that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if you're Daton, do you take a red shirt this year?
I mean,
or do you want to come back?
Yeah, I kind of. Why wouldn't you? Is what I would say. Why wouldn't you just focus on freestyle? I mean, he was already gonna do it last year. It's kind of
maybe he wants to get some revenge on Nikki push-ups, Nikki folk style.
Where's he gonna wrestle at? So the last time he wrestled is Mateo Pelicone, and so if he is suspended through February, is he gonna have a chance to wrestle anywhere?
That's a 15-month hiatus,
right? Maybe jumping back in for if you have any duels left and Big 12s and NCAAs can be good for him. Getting mat time.
Yeah, I mean, Maybe I don't know. I don't see him coming out of it. I think he just stays in the Olympic red shirt, does the Olympic trials, and then comes back the following year. He's got 3 years, then to finish his career off. And
Maybe he doesn't want to be 25 and still wrestling in college too.
Yes,
that's true. Go pro.
He is 22 right now.
Hey, Nathan Ford said, "Why are there no positive tests after the NCAA report?" I don't really think the NCAA tests. That's my take on it. Obviously, I was tested by the NCAA. I was tested by the Big 12. I was tested by.
You think they just collect it and then do one of these bits?
I've heard, this is rumors, obviously, nothing true. I've heard they only test for pot and for anabolics, but nothing else, which makes it very less likely that someone will get caught for anything because you're only testing for a really limited amount of stuff. I don't know that to be true for sure, but it does seem really fishy that, especially not only wrestling, right? How many college football players have tested positive?
There were Didn't Clemson have a couple?
Yeah, right before the national championship game.
Yeah, like,
oh, really?
What
happened?
Yeah, a handful every couple of years. Like, clearly, yes, especially on a football team. You're telling me like nobody in NCAA Division I football is taking steroids?
Or these?
Come on, son.
Or these schools just aren't releasing this info because the NCAA is not releasing this info. I think the only reason that got out was because they were playing for a national title and a first-round pick wasn't going to be playing.
Yeah,
it's true. If some NCAA track athletes were, I probably wouldn't hear about it.
Yeah. So, still a lot unknown. Someone asked if in the Facebook chat, Nathan Ford, could he wrestle for us, like on a flow card? I don't know.
I think listen, don't quote me on this. I think that USADA very much frowns on you competing while you're suspended other places. I don't think they have the ability to change their decision to make it longer, but if anything ever happens in the future, they will take that into account. And I know with fighting, right? In fighting, you have to get licensed. So I can remember a couple times where I believe the state sanctioning bodies have withheld those because guys have done other things while they've been suspended.
We should just do the old pride bit in our contracts in big letters. We will not test for steroids.
Pride was worse. It wasn't we will not test. They would, I've had a few friends who competed there early on, and they would say, like, they would come up to you, and they probably would have done this to me. A lot of fight competed. They said, hey, you're looking a little bit soft. You need anything? You look a little soft. You need extra medicine? Like, it was, so I guess I would say, not even was it just like, not frowned upon. It was kind of encouraged. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, those Clemson football players test positive for Osterine.
Ooh.
Osterine,
like I said, it's getting
now.
Pretty popular.
It's in the one you saw the article I wrote it. Said that every year they'd had more and more positive tests for Osterine.
Interesting. So it must be effective if people keep taking it, I guess. Apparently.
And they must be good at
like I said, the lowdown on it is anabolic steroid, but without the side effects. Builds muscle, and helps burn fat. So, but
all right, it stinks because I know myself. I like to think that the Americans don't do this.
Well, they're mostly clean. I just went through the list, Kyle.
No, I know.
Feel good about it.
It still stinks to see.
Compared to the weightlifters, holy crap, Kyle.
Yeah.
Weightlifters, these dudes they're jamming PEDs over coronavirus and stuff. They've had a whole bunch of them get that recently.
Well, that's definitely a sport where you have to if you want to compete, Like, everyone's on it. They're all on steroids.
Just in this calendar year, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in this year. That's this calendar year. Holy crap. How many weightlifters
beating the system?
And they're not even competing. You'd think they'd cycle off or something because they're not even competing. What the hell's wrong with these people? Cancel that program.
They just never stop.
Wow, that is wild.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe if you are taking Ostarine and being tested by USADA, stop, because they're getting quite good at detecting it.
Yes.
We should make Derek Fix take his shirt off and see if he's actually shredded from the Ostarine. That could be a telltale sign for us.
Is CP on Ostarine?
He might be. CP is looking kind of shredded. I did accuse the Piles family of being on PEDs because his wife's kind of shredded too.
You did a while back. That was true.
I saw them on the beach or something. They're both like kind of muscled up.
Yeah, remember we talked about the Peyton Manning?
They're like the Mannings.
PEDs
Oh, Manning, that he was lying. That was such a lie. That was so terrible. Is that your favorite player, Kyle?
No. I'm Brett Favre guy. I'm a Packers fan.
Oh, I thought you were a Peyton Manning guy.
Not only a fan, but an owner.
I am an owner. I am an owner of the Green Bay Packers. All right, moving on to where we'll stay at 133 pounds. Where one of Daton Fix's former Big 12 foes, Montorie Bridges, had another year of eligibility to use, and an article recently came out. He is not going to use it. He's hanging it up. Finishes his career as a two-time All-American. He was named first-team All-American this year. The name of the site was called like Fight Library that he chose to.
I never heard of this place.
Me either, and I assumed that meant he was going to MMA, but I read the article and he wants to get into law enforcement and specifically be a federal officer, whether it's FBI, DEA, U.S. Marshals. So that's really cool, and
wow,
that'd be a Fed you don't want to mess with.
That would be a guy you don't want to mess with as a Fed. Yeah, what's with 133 pounds? Because they're all bailing. Because Chaz Tucker got out 2 heat a year left. He said, I'm out.
He did. It's a grind, man.
Yeah.
These guys ready to get out. I think Chaz is going to go into coaching. They're just ready to, I guess, move on with their careers. 133 is crazy because it seems like Nick Sirianni's coming back. You don't know what's going on with Stevan Micic. Sebastian Rivera's up at 141. RBY's still there. I mean, it's still a loaded weight even with those guys. You don't know what's going to happen with Daton Fix. So 133 is pretty wild right now.
Yes. I read in the article, Montorie basically just said he wasn't motivated that much anymore. Like all right, man. I did that phase of my life. I'm ready to move on.
Well, the other thing that's hard, I speak with the kids I coach about this. It's like, man, being motivated over this time period when you don't really know what's next. Like, no one can tell you for 100% you're going to have a season. No one can guarantee you anything. And so, like, I'm asking you guys to keep training despite the fact that you don't know what's next for you. Mm-hmm. And I realize how tough that is. And I realize that I never had to do that. So I'm not gonna fake and lie to you like I've had to do that. I didn't, right? You guys are in a very unique time period in history. And so I just need you to come in and keep giving great effort. And I can't tell you, luckily they're high schoolers, but if you're a college senior, it's like, dude, that's a lot to want to keep training for a season that you don't know that's going to happen. That could be your last, and then you don't want. What am I staying in college another year past that? Like, come on, I'm going to go in the real world. So I could definitely kind of see where a lot of these guys are coming from when they're that old, and it's just like I just want to get on with my life.
And think about if he graduated, and it's like, well, then are you going to take grad classes, and then 1 year of grad classes, and maybe he wasn't on full ride or whatever. And it's like, okay, I got to pay a little bit for these grad classes for 1 year and then waste that money or go for another year, however many years it takes me to finish my graduate studies when maybe he doesn't even need it. So,
yeah. Shoot, that's So I don't fault him in the least bit.
No.
I mean, Chaz Tucker's a little different because I felt like Cornell, again, who knows, but Cornell actually has a chance at winning a title.
Yeah.
And if you get Vito down to 125, Chaz could be an integral part of that. So that was the one that was a little more puzzling to me. But I don't, as a fifth-year senior, wanting to kind of get on with your life and not having an uncertain future, I don't see the deal with it at all.
Yeah. So. Shout out to Montorie. Keep up. Go be a great Fed. It was fun watching you. Moving on, our man beside me, he joined the Rankers Guild. He dropped some domestic men's freestyle rankings. We put them out the first time yesterday. Ben, what'd you think of these? Did you see anything that stuck out to you? Maybe you didn't agree with, or just a weight you want to talk about?
There was nothing I hated. Kind of like a few times when I looked at the international rankings, there was a few things that I knew I hated.
So he gets to keep his job for now.
You keep your job for now.
Thank God.
It's a lot of these weights are so deep. When you see like Joe Colon at 7, it's like initially you say, "Wow, how's Joe Colon at 7?" But then you think like, well, that's probably where you look at the weight class. That's kind of where he should be. Like, you can't really justify him really being any higher.
And we have to say this every time with rankings, but these aren't predictions. These are just based off of results. So, yes, I'm aware Joe Colon lost to Seth Gross, but that was in 2017. More recently, Seth Gross beat Nick Soriano at Farrell, who beat Joe Colon and beat the Streets last year.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that falls. And at 57, Daton will remain. These came out before the news yesterday, but Daton is just going to remain in because he can still make Olympic trials and Olympics this year. So, in whatever.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The other one, I think, the only other question mark I have is now that Bo Nickel's wrestling 86 kilograms in a couple weeks, will you move him down? And to me, he's the most interesting matchup for David Taylor. I don't know. Obviously, so Miles is number 3. We just saw how that went with David Taylor. That was a flipping bloodbath. Zahid, I have a little bit interest in against David Taylor, but I don't really see him being able to have the horsepower to beat David. The only one that's even moderately interesting to me there is Bo Nickel versus David Taylor. I think it's exciting. I think it's something we haven't seen. I think it's interesting because of the backstory also. So I guess I'm asking JD, if he wrestles here in 2 weeks at 86 kilograms, are you going to rank him 86 kilograms?
Yeah, because I think that's a sign of what his weight will become, or what he'll go for Olympic trials. It will be hard, though, seeing as how all his results came at 92.
92, yeah.
So,
yeah, but if he just goes out there and beats Daringer, he should. Personally, if I was ranking 86 right now, I would put him above Miles Martin.
You got to, yeah. There's no way David Taylor's beating Miles Martin that bad, or beating Bo Nickel that bad. That's impossible.
But if he goes out there and beats Daringer, he should be right up there behind Zahid, if not ahead of Zahid, because I think, didn't Daringer beat Zahid last time they wrestled? No, Zahid beat him at Mateo Pelicon.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. Hey, why is our guy, someone in the Facebook chat pointed out, why is Pat Downey not ranked?
Well, he is currently...
he's retired.
Is he retired? I don't know.
I don't know. I was joking.
But he literally can't compete at USA Wrestling events. So
why?
He's suspended.
He had his membership suspended.
What? Why did we talk about this on the show? This is news to me.
I don't know. I think it kind of happened like over a weekend, and then it just never came back up.
What do you wait? Time. Hold on. What do you mean? He has USA Wrestling, like his membership card that like every little kid gets. That is suspended.
Yes, he cannot enter.
For what? For what he said? For what he said on Twitter?
That was part of it. You can go read Pat posted like the whole thing that was sent to him.
I don't read Pat's stuff. Come on, man. I got better things to do in my life than read Pat's posts. I have those literally muted because he's so annoying.
Well, every now and then it is somewhat beneficial, like
when he posts that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, well, so we have to go now for the sake of the show. Can you send me a link or something so I can find it? Because I don't read Pat Downey stuff.
I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, it was.
And so how long is he suspended for?
I don't think that is determined right now. The way I read it, right now there's no time limit on it. From the way I understood it, they were going to have some kind of arbitration process. Yes, to determine how long the suspension would be for.
Well, so are you taking Pat Downey off the rings because he's indefinitely suspended, but you're leaving Daton on because he's only suspended until a certain date?
Yes.
Okay.
It makes sense because you know when Daton will be back. You know he'll be wrestling in Olympic trials. And with Downey, you don't know. We don't know right now. And you said he was retired.
He did retweet that. And he got kicked out of his club also. So I have no idea where. I don't know why this dope hasn't went to MMA. He should have went there years ago. Because fighting likes the degenerate crowd. So I mean, he should have just went there and been there, and then like no one can suspend him, and he can just show up at the gym as infrequently as he wants, and he'll still be able to show up and fight. Won't really be an issue for anyone. He probably should just go do that.
He must have deleted the tweet that he was retired. Literally, his tweets only go back to September 3rd now.
He deleted
September
all of his
2nd.
tweets prior
So
to September 3rd.
Prior to September 2nd.
How do you even
yes.
delete all your tweets? Oh yeah, coming up clutch, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler's the man.
Okay. Can I read? You mind if I read these, Kyle, just so for my own?
I don't care.
Mr. Downey has Mr. Downey has posted a number of emails claiming he has been afflicted 3 times with COVID-19 and has no intention of following social distancing and other recommendations or practice for benefits of others. Oh my! So listen, that first he's a lie. He did not test positive. He did not been positive 3 different times. That's shenanigans. About a week ago, he posted a message.
Don't read this next bit. Don't read this next.
Okay, I will censor. Well, to another USA Wrestling team member, which hashtags include inappropriate term, and I guess that's inappropriate term. I don't really know what that means totally. The first is a remarkably crass reference to females' parts, and the second is a similar label that Mrs. Peters expressly told Mr. Downey could be construed as offensive. I've never heard the second one be used as an offensive term, but I guess so. 3 days ago, Mr. Downey again used a phrase that there's this phrase which I don't know what it means. I need, you know what? Sometimes I am like old dad, and I'm behind the times, so I need to go ask people what these mean. He used that term again in social media and responded to a comment. Breaking news.
Don't read that. Don't read that tweet. Don't do it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, Pat Downey, what are you doing with your life? Regardless of the validity of the underlying, and you guys can all find this is public information, of the validity of underlying charges, USA Wrestling understands are deemed unproven at this juncture. Mr. Downey posted a statement from social media. I only worry about felonies. Go ahead with this. BB, a bunch of cuss words. A dumb. Oh my goodness. There's just so many cuss words.
You can't read like the rest
it.
of these. No, like.
Oh my goodness. Well, are these on the screen? Well, they're on the screen right now, right? Or no?
No, they're not. They should not be.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That will be a weird. Okay. Well, you guys can go find that for yourself. That is yeah, okay. Wow.
Does it make sense now?
Yeah, but I guess don't they have to have some type of arbitration on how long he's suspended for?
Yeah, and he must have deleted that tweet, but he had posted another one. The original tweet communication sent to him from USA Wrestling explaining what was going on and that they would have a hearing about this.
I gotta type in the one term and see what comes up, so I know what it means, because I don't
think it really. I don't know if it has another meaning, but it's just something weird to say. I don't know. So that's your Pat Downey update.
Wow.
Did not expect to go here today.
Urban Thesaurus. Hold on, I'm looking up the Urban Thesaurus.
No. Ben's looking at Urban Dictionary right now.
Nothing really comes up for it.
Okay, see, I didn't think anything would, but I got nervous there for a second.
But anyway,
switching
domestic freestyle rankings are on the site. Check them out.
Yeah, and there's
women's freestyle.
Women's freestyle
as well.
Yeah, our man Derek hooked it up with the women's freestyle. I don't think there was anything too surprising there. You know, looking through it, all the top ranked women are who have been, you know, dominant on that level for us for a while, and on the international level as well. Anything stick out with those to you, Ben?
No, I thought all the rankings were pretty good. I mean, yeah, obviously there's been not a lot of changes this year because we didn't have the Open or anything else to go along with it. But yeah, so I think all of them look good. I think 57, 74 are incredibly deep. Obviously,
Mhm.
I'm really excited for those. 65 is not quite as deep as I thought it'd be, but I guess we've had a couple retirements at that weight class also. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like 165 or 65 kg used to be deeper. Who all retired this year besides Molinaro? Is there someone else I'm forgetting about?
Mm, not that I can remember.
No.
Yeah, not that I can remember.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, 74 is going to be awesome.
The registration list still isn't popping for senior nationals yet, but hopefully we get some.
It will be.
Yeah, hopefully we get that spiced up here soon.
Nice. All right, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with the rings. I like that you guys did them. I like that you guys do the international rings also because those are, yeah. I mean,
We're gonna have
they-
Greco-Roman domestic rankings as well.
Yeah, shout out Timmy Hands.
Yeah, from our man Timmy Hands coming through soon with those. So
is
we'll have
Timmy
all
Hands
three.
a real name or is that a pseudonym?
No, that's the real name. He's the
real?
guy that does 5-point move.
Yeah, he's the man.
But is that a real name?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay, I'll look it up.
That's how
Thanks, Michael.
I've always known him as. While you look that up,
Is it a Stephen Kyle Brackey situation?
maybe it could
Well,
be.
oh, there you go.
We can't rule it out.
See some birth certificates.
While we look for the birth certificates, let's talk about the Cody Chittum school list that JD also got. We've been seeing a kind of a rash of commitments here. Chance Lamer, who's on the 2021 big board from Oregon, he committed to Michigan yesterday. Tucker Owens from Mustang, Oklahoma, who's on the 2021 big board as well, committed to Air Force. Last night,
Pettigrew to UNC.
Pettigrew to UNC. He's the top 25 guy in the class of 2022. And then last night, Dylan Fishback, who's a top 30 guy in the class of 2022 from Ohio, committed to NC State. So we're starting to see guys kind of come off the board pretty quickly here.
Yeah, it's that time, and a lot of these juniors, even though maybe they haven't taken all their visits, I think are kind of like, well, who knows if and when I'll be able to. Just go with my gut, I think. But Chittum, just a sophomore this year. So this list also very preliminary, unofficial, could change. Coaches can't even contact Cody officially yet until after his sophomore year. But as of right now, it's Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Oklahoma State, Penn State.
I feel like that's kind of random a little bit. Like,
You got your three
I guess he's from-
big heavy hitters.
well, how did Maryland get on there?
Because
he's
I
not
don't
from
know
Maryland,
for sure.
right?
He's from Tennessee. Goes to Blair. Yeah, I don't know exactly why I didn't ask
Maryland's
too much into that.
got a little momentum going right now. They got Braxton Brown last week, who's number 34 in the class of 2021 from Allen, Texas, and he's their third big boarder.
They got Jackson Smith as
nice.
well, and he's a Georgia kid. So
he's
maybe, maybe they're kind of trying to tap into that southeast, southern market or region. I don't know for sure. But
Yep, they had Jackson
Nice.
Smith and then Adrian Kramer out of Illinois. So 3 big boarders for Alex Clemson
But
and the Terps.
Is Kramer the one that was at? He was at what am I trying to say here? Old Dominion, and then transferred. Was that
No.
because there was a Kramer? There was a
Yes.
Kramer at Old Dominion.
Yes.
Where's he going?
He's at Central Michigan.
He went to Central Michigan. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know if these two are related or not, but
I believe they are.
yeah, I do too.
I think there's three or four in the same family. I want to say there was 2 of them. One being way older. That was at Old Dominion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, nice early list for
And Cody Chittum's a guy I am huge on. I think he will continue. He's only just a sophomore in a middleweight 145. He's number 2 right now. He'll be taking on Wyatt Henson at who's number 1. He's got a legit argument to be number 1, though, as he did beat Henson last season at Beast of the East. Henson finished out the season strong, though, ended up number 1. So they're going to settle the score at who's number 1. But definitely a guy to remember his name because he's going to make it. He wrestles. I love watching him wrestle. He's like a stereotypical Iowa style type guy wants to get his hands on you, basically put your face through the mat and run behind you. Do that a couple times, wear you down, cow catcher you to your back, pin you.
By the way, our
Cow
man Hunter
catcher.
Gamble in the Facebook chat reminded us that Nick Bruschetta, who's on South of Maryland now, was at UTC for a few years.
That is honestly probably the connection right
so
there.
that's absolutely the connection.
And I know Chittum's used to train under Dennis while he was at UTC as well. So there's your Iowa.
Daniel Dennis. Daniel Dennis.
Yes.
Got it. Nice. Cool.
Yeah, keep an eye on. It was going to be a really awesome match with him and Wyatt Henson. But cool
I'm
to get an
excited.
early
We
look
get
at
some
his
wrestling
recruitment.
soon.
Heck yeah, we do. And we'll get in.
Yeah, you know, I got our duels coming up in 10 days, baby.
Yeah. We can get into that as I get a little bit closer. You
Live
can,
on Flow.
break down all the studs that will be there for us.
Well, I got to figure out. I don't even know how to look at the rosters. I'm a flipping amateur. I got to figure out. I got to hustle these other coaches to make sure. I got to get my rosters in. I got to make sure the other coaches have their.
Yeah, you got to hustle these coaches so we can know who's going to be there, so we can actually promote it.
Yes, because I do not know how to do that whatsoever.
Just tell them you're going to kick them out if they don't give you the rosters or something.
Seriously.
All right. Why don't we?
Hey, can I use the bathroom before we go to questions with friends?
Oh my
bladder's going off.
gosh!
Well, listen, I had
You've
this
been
problem.
chugging that dang coffee.
I had the coffee, but listen, Kyle. Here's the issue: is this happened last time I had to take a piss.
Hey, Wayne Boston, come on.
It hurts so bad. I've been holding it for a while.
It is 9 a.m. Hoffman held it till 2 p.m. You coward.
I got off my pain meds.
Mentally
and so
weak.
I was up really early this morning because my leg was hurting. So I was kind of up and about, and I was drinking. I chugged a whole big thing of water, and that was a really bad idea. And then I knew like, oh damn it, I chugged that water. So now I'm going to the show. I'm gonna have to piss, and they're gonna make fun of me again. So make fun of me. I'll be gone, and I'm gonna be a little slower because I got a crutch. Today.
All right.
I'll be back. Give me 1 minute.
Ben will be back in about 15 minutes. So hold on, we got an update. Brian Hallickson in the Facebook chat. Got my tickets to Senior Nationals. Can't wait. 2,500 tickets only available. Mask required. That's cool because yesterday we were talking about will there be fans or not. And
yeah, I knew there were going to be fans. I was not sure on the exact amount, I guess, but 2,500.
Yeah, right, dude.
I think this will be the first event in this new arena they built in Coralville.
Okay. It looks really nice from all the pictures I've seen.
Yeah, it will definitely be the first wrestling event. I think I read somewhere, maybe do not quote me on it, but it will be the first actual event as well.
Okay. Who knows if Ben will want to be in this discussion as we get ready to go here closer to Question with Friends. But I thought this is an appropriate topic. We've been talking about food on here lately. We hit on our favorite fast food restaurants when Lee Roper was on here last week. And then we talked about saucy nugs and the boneless
Now I want to talk about this because I saw a bunch of Applebees slander on my timeline this weekend, and I will not stand for it.
So wait a minute. Tyler, I think, has the picture of these 4 restaurants that we would choose between. It's your birthday. You get to go to one of these 4 restaurants. And you're telling me out of these 4, you would choose Applebee's?
100 times out of 100.
You are an insane person. That is the most Iowa, Nebraska answer I've ever heard.
This is a birthday dinner. It's not just about the food. It's about the entire experience. I'm going to
Applebee's.
Yes.
No. Cheesecake Factory, right, Kyle?
It's Cheesecake Factory or Olive Garden, one of the two.
I'm going Cheesecake Factory. They got a nice, solid, big menu.
Cheesecake Menu Factory. The Cheesecake Factory menu is way too big. Like,
that's good. You have options. It literally covers the whole
I don't want
range.
options. I want you to say,
here's you want.
6 options and have fun. And you're telling, like, the cheesecake, it's so big, you can't be good at all of those things.
But they are pretty dang good because when I go there, I don't get the same thing over and over. I go variety, and it all is pretty dang good.
I agree.
It's my birthday dinner. I do what I want. I'm going to Applebee's.
I know, like if I'm power ranking those 4 things, Applebee's is last.
No.
Let's see. Let me power
Red
rank
Lobster
them.
is last.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Red Lobster's last. Yeah, Red
What?
Lobster's last. Yes,
Red Lobster
for sure.
behind Applebee's. Listen,
Yes.
I have eaten at
100%.
Applebee's plenty. Every single trip we would take to Stillwater, we would freaking eat at Applebee's because we stayed.
You
yeah,
want to talk
we've been
about
at
saucy nugs? Their wings are saucy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
What are we doing?
Plus,
here?
they do dollar drinks like every month. You can get dollar drinks. They have a drink of the month, just $1. It's my birthday. I'm just slugging a bunch of those. I'm gonna have myself a time.
Oh my
You're going
God.
by yourself,
I'm
right?
playing. No, whole squad coming with. We squadding up at the bees.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So Ben, you
And
do
we're probably
Cheesecake
getting kicked
Factory.
out.
I go Cheesecake Factory, Olive Garden, Applebee's, Red Lobster.
Olive
My
Garden's
power
not
rankings.
bad because when you're there,
Your family.
there you go, exactly.
People want to crap on, and Dylan Dory's doing it right now in Facebook chat. Olive Garden is good, and I'm an OG fan. I don't care what any of you say.
Don't care.
Michael Andrews, whoever is taking you to those restaurants doesn't really want you to have a happy birthday. I would have a wonderful birthday at 3 of those 4 establishments. So, sorry, we're not as elitist
You have a
as you,
good
Michael.
birthday at Applebee's also. Don't lie.
Yes, I would.
Look, they're all great.
All great. All right, let's get
Hey,
into.
can I ask you? No, Kyle,
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
to ask you a
go.
question. Because it just came up, I swear. Does Tony Ramos actually do jiu-jitsu?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hope, for his sake, I hope so.
For his sake, I hope so as well.
He's
I have
tucking
never
some
heard of
smack,
Tony
too.
Ramos doing jiu-jitsu. So this makes me very nervous for him. Because if he doesn't do jiu-jitsu, Nicky Ryan's going to leg lock him in about a minute and a half.
I know, and that's what Christian was talking about when Lee Roper was on. It was like, usually when you see wrestling guys do this, they don't want leg locks. Like anything but leg locks.
Yeah. He said you could do leg locks.
Well, also,
Yeah, anything.
Tony Ramos's original tweet that sparked this whole thing said no leg locks. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
but then
Was
apparently
it because he said the same rule set as Bo Nickel or something like
Yeah.
that, correct?
He said same rules as Bo Nickel, Gordon Ryan. Yeah.
Dude, even as a,
But then he
even
tossed
as
that
a,
out the window, I guess.
yeah, even as a guy who's done jiu-jitsu for a long time, the leg locks aren't nearly as effective in MMA as they are in jiu-jitsu because obviously MMA, if you're not doing properly, you just get punched or elbowed in the face, and that's really bad for you. So you don't see you don't see nearly the amount of leg locks in MMA. Dude, the leg lock game is crazy, and these guys are really, really, really good. I mean, they're the best in the game at it.
All right.
Do you fear for him? Do you want to tell him? Do you want to take his place, Kyle?
No, I don't want to take his place. I would lose very quickly. I mean, I can't imagine that Tony would take this match and like expect to win and like call him out if he wasn't doing some kind of training or at least feel somewhat confident. But you're right. I did not know that he was a guy that was into jiu-jitsu or doing some of this rolling, because a lot of times you see these wrestlers who are since retired or done with their career getting into that stuff and tweeting about it and posting pictures, but I'd never seen anything like that from him or seen any interest from him. So it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be watching, and a reminder, that's the night before Who's Number One on October 2nd. And there's a lot of other good matches.
I'm going to both. You're not going to go to both?
I'll probably be there. I don't know.
Okay, I think I'm going to both because I'll be in the hotel, so I figure I might as well just,
you might as well go down.
Up.
Yeah. While you're
Are the high school wrestlers going to be allowed to go also, or they're probably not because there'll be some type of limit on the amount of people or something?
probably. And also the dead period could make it weird. Like
What?
Tony's probably not supposed to have any contact with these guys
That period is over September 30th.
for now, but
For now.
I saw that they're likely going to push it back another month.
No, are you kidding me, Kyle?
No, I promise. I'm sorry.
Dude, but that's going to now push into almost high school season. That's going to screw these kids so hard.
I know. It's not fair.
What are they doing? Wow.
I think it's about football. They
It is
want
about
this season
football.
to happen, and they're trying to have
Reduce the
bubble.
liability as much as you can.
Well, they're trying to have bubble-like
environments
You
on
mean
each
their
campus.
you mean where
and then
their-
if you're
their
bringing,
coaches aren't-
what's that?
Got it. You mean where their coaches aren't going different places and flying all over?
Well,
the
their
country
coaches aren't
recruiting?
going places, and no one from outside
It's
of
coming in.
right. Because I mean, right now they're getting tested 3 times a week. I know, like West Virginia, like the majority of their kids are taking online classes this semester. They're really trying to keep contact from anyone that's not in the program away from them, and bringing kids to campus and coaches going places and then coming back is not the best for that. So I really think they're just trying to make this season happen.
Yeah.
Which,
Dude, don't make me go off on my alma mater, Mizzou. You know what these dum-dums did?
oh no.
I might have to tweet about it. They said it's mandatory to wear a mask outside if you're alone. Like, what the hell's wrong with you people? Get a life.
I prefer the University of Georgia's. They came out with like guidelines for students to have safe sex during coronavirus times.
What?
Yes. It is pretty funny. Like, they recommended wearing masks and, not to get too graphic, but different position.
Dang it, JD.
Oh, stop, JD. You can't bring-
Why did you
Where's the
think that would be
Sion?
okay to say when I wouldn't let Ben read half those tweets?
The University of Georgia put it out there.
When CP's gone, my ass is in the jackpot. All right, let's get to Q's from S if you don't have anything else. And this first one is probably gonna fire you up, Ben. Zachary Beck. How does Ben Askren feel about Carol Baskins on Dancing with the Stars?
I tweeted about this last week. I don't want freaking Carol Baskins. I want Joe Exotic on there.
Joe Exotic.
Seriously, don't
Well,
you?
Yes, absolutely. I don't understand why they would have her on there. Like, do they not realize everyone hates her? Like, no one likes her. No one came away from that being like, heck yeah, Carol Baskin, she's awesome.
They're going to tune in and watch, though.
Are they? I don't want to. I've never.
Do you watch Dancing with the Stars anyway?
No, but like that's not going to make me. I thought the point of the show
They're
was
trying
like
to ride
get
that Tiger
stars,
King wave.
get stars from all over the place to expose. them
Yeah,
to the
but you know what
show.
they say about fighting, Kyle, is you just don't want to be vanilla. They can love you, they can hate you. As long as they want to watch you, it's good. So maybe people want to watch her fail.
Yeah, those people aren't murderers. She's a murderer.
Alleged.
Does the University of Missouri have a Twitter handle, Kyle? Can you help me with this?
Yeah,
I'm trying to tweet at them, and I can't.
it's at
find their Twitter
Mizzou.
handle.
At Mizzou.
Just
That-
Mizzou. Oh,
M I Z.
That took Kyle 2
Z-O-U.
seconds.
Come on. Damn it! Why couldn't I find
No.
it?
Listen, remember their whole Melissa Click thing? What'd you think about that?
Remind me what that was.
The
That was when,
journalism
the female
professor? That didn't want people. She was trying to keep people from filming.
That was shenanigans.
Yeah, and she
Total
said she
shenanigans.
needed some muscle. She was trying to threaten that person.
Yes, that was nonsense.
Yeah, that was not good. All right. Dale Harvey Pritchard. I feel like we hit this one. But he said, "What does Ben know about Austrian?"
JD knows a lot more than me.
Yeah. JD was doing some research.
I think
JD might be a user. We don't even know.
I was just saying we should expense it as a company expense. Get me on it to see the results, and we will report them to the people.
Well,
I will do that for this team.
Well, that's like Icarus, the guy on Icarus.
I will get incredibly jacked and lean.
He was pissed
and improve my performance for this team.
He was pissed he wasn't doing well in those bike races, so he decided to do it. That's how the whole Icarus thing started.
Could we do our own Icarus and discover that the United States is actually state doping? State sanctioned doping.
Okay, we're going to edit that part out.
All the way from Trump. All the way from Trump down.
We're going to edit that part out. The real Avery Lynch. He's asked this a few times, and we just need to talk about it. Get it out of the way. Thoughts on Greco's progress in America? I don't know how we can gauge Greco's progress in America right now because we haven't really had any international events. We haven't had a world championship, an Olympic championship. But I would say it's probably where it's been the past few years right now, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really pay all that much attention, and there's been no tournaments, so I cannot say
I,
anything.
I
about
will
this
say,
tournament.
I remember someone asked us before the Pan Am Olympic qualifier, would Greco, like how many weights Greco would qualify? And we did not feel confident that they would get 1 or 2, and I think they got 4. So that
They
is a
have 4
good.
weights qualified.
I believe they qualified 4 in Toronto or wherever that was. I don't think they still have all of them, but that's 4 that they didn't have.
Yeah.
But I really think it's hard to judge this progress without a Worlds, Olympics, or any other kind of tournament. So I guess that's TBD.
Yeah.
It was a rough 2019 World Championships
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
for him.
so it's hard to really gauge that progress until we have another big tournament. Tony Meister, this was a funny one. What Flow film will be released soonest? Metcalf or Kale's second decade?
Piles. Come on, man.
I would like someone to tweet us a funny thing about Metcalf every single day until it's released. And then we can remind you that if it's not out by September 31st, the very real September 31st, Christian is no longer employed here.
Yeah, I don't know what's taking you guys so long. This is pretty bad.
Man, it better live up to the expectations or we're going to hear it.
Seriously.
Yes,
you will.
Everyone continue to tweet CP until it's out.
Yeah, does everyone tweet Christian? It's totally him. And he's taking a vacation. Wow. Matt Smith, why does it take so long for suspensions to be handed out? We kind of hit on this, but they completely wait for the arbitration process to be finished now, which I think is fair. Let the person be heard, let the final ruling come in, let the lawyers get involved, let it get all hashed out before you're announcing anything.
I like that. I like it much better that way.
Agreed. At some point today, this was the guy that asked the playout basketball question real quick, and I just wanted to go back to something we said yesterday. Ben said that maybe Alex Marinelli was Giannis because Giannis has had great regular seasons, not great postseasons. But Giannis did something yesterday that Alex the Bull Marinelli would absolutely never do.
What did he do?
For that, I think we need to take it back. While his team was down 3-1 in the series, facing elimination, he decided not to play because his ankle was hurt.
What do you mean he didn't play?
He didn't play, man. He didn't play. He said he didn't say. He had left the previous game with an ankle sprain, and then he did not play. And that is something that Alex Marinelli would never do in a closeout game. Would be like, I guess, like any match of the NCAA tournament, because you're moving on. Either move on or you don't. He would never do that. The Bull wrestles with
he would not do that.
No, he wrestles with a torn ACL. He's a beast.
Yeah.
He's just never gonna get his knee fixed. He doesn't need it.
Coronavirus seemed like the perfect time to get his knee fixed. He had so much time.
Yeah, maybe he did. I don't know. I don't know what the Bull's been up to.
Maybe he went in with Royce Alger and has got a new knee already.
Maybe. We can't rule it out. But Miles, at some point today, said, Ben, how prevalent do you think PD use is in wrestling on the college and international level?
Well, I mean, judging by that, I was reading off that chart, right, from USADA, and wrestling is on there so many less times than, I found, 2 cases in the last couple of years. I think it was 2 years I went back or so, maybe slightly more than 2 years, and there's just not a lot on there for wrestling. So I never saw it while I was in the sport. And there's been a very limited amount of people who tested positive for it. So my inclination is that it's not all that prevalent as compared to, say, mixed martial arts or weightlifting like we play.
Now, are you talking domestically or on the international scene as well?
Just domestic. I think we all know that international guys are cheating. I think it's pretty well proven by this point. I'm speaking only domestically. Don't really know internationally, but from the looks of things, internationally they are cheating fairly prevalently.
Okay. And then a few more here. Kurt Diarni wants to know, will Zahid Valencia wrestle again?
So someone told me he was going straight to fighting, and I actually DM'd him and I said, is this true? and he said, "Well, I might fight eventually, but not right now." Or so I can't remember what he said. It was not right now. He's playing on wrestling for right now. Obviously, we've
Good.
had no tournaments, so and then he did have he had the suspension. But again, that one's weird because I still don't think we know exactly who suspended him.
Arizona State came out with that one, not USADA.
We think we don't know. Arizona State never said.
We don't
anything.
really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zeke just said. Zeke confirmed to one local newspaper that he wouldn't be at Pac-12s. And that was it. That's all we ever heard. We've heard conflicting reports that it was at Mateo Pelicon, that it was a NCAA one, that it was an Arizona State test. I don't know, but I don't think he's done wrestling. I think we will definitely see Zahid. Like Ben, obviously he told Ben that, but I would have guessed that before then too.
But we don't know. Maybe who knows? Maybe he's back at the U.S. Open next month, and we don't know if he's suspended, unsuspended, what the deal is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it was an NCAA suspension, I don't think they can do anything.
The NCAA does have its own separate testing organization. They just also honor USADAs when it is something that is also on their ban list. Yes.
Hey, they caught those Clemson football players.
Oh my goodness!
But Zahid getting married, actually, so
he is.
Congrats. Hopefully, it lasts longer than Sidikov's.
He is engaged.
You think Sidikov? Well, Sidikov never technically got married, correct? It was stopped.
I think he got married.
No, he got married. It was during the celebration afterwards.
You sure?
Yes, because it was during they said it was during the second day of the celebration because they had like the week-long celebrations there.
Well, how do I know if it comes at the celebration, if the marriage actually comes at the end of the celebration or at the beginning?
I guess that's fair, but I don't know why you would celebrate before it was done.
That doesn't seem like a good idea, huh?
No. I don't know how Ossetian weddings exactly work, but they're like American weddings. You generally get married and then party. But
last one, and then we can go a little bit early again today. So Sam Stormone, what international guys would you like to see go through a college season? What international guys could translate well to folk? Nazar, Kolchitsky, obviously did well. Any others?
I think
we've had. Go ahead.
Any decent international wrestler is going to do well in folk style. They're a good wrestler. I don't want to get wound up, but it's dumb that we wrestle folk style anyways. But
I love folk style. You know who I actually had some kinship with Bo Nickel because he also talked about how much he loved folk style wrestling when he was here a couple weeks back. And that was nice because a lot of guys, they act too cool. They act like they don't want to like folk style. I freaking love folk style wrestling. I hope they don't get rid of it ever.
I love folk style wrestling too. I just really, really love freestyle wrestling.
It sounds like you hate folk style wrestling.
Well, maybe I do.
Sounds like you're a communist. Well, I mean, I think we've had a lot of
to succeed
guys
on the international level more than we already do, and I think that would help. And I prefer watching freestyle.
Yeah, so I mean, we've had Beck, Zod, Muzafar, Z. Who else have we had? There's been a whole the guys from Citadel, Turtog, and
Oogie.
The other guy, Oogie. Yeah, so we've had quite a few international guys. Who was the one guy from the South African that wrestled at Oregon State? What was his name again? Barnes, maybe?
I do not remember him.
He's like a 141, 149-ish. So we've had a handful of guys, come from international. I am almost surprised that some coaches don't try to do it more frequently. It does seem like a really good pipeline. And the fact that no one is exploiting it, especially if you were at a smaller college that you might go try to get something like that going. I guess, Campbell, Kerry Cola had the guys from,
I know.
The hell were those? Where are they from?
Mongolia.
No, I know.
Mongolia. Finland,
yeah.
There was a small college, Northwestern Tech, I think, in Kansas, and they have some connection to Mongolia. And I remember they would have.
Oh yeah, that was where Didn't Muzavar go there first? And didn't Muzavar and then what was the other guy's name that was really tough? He was like a 133. Erkin. I think Erkin's still at Utah Valley, maybe coaching.
I think he is. Yes.
Yeah, he was really tough.
Iowa State has
Oh yeah.
Ramazan Adasov
Who?
on their roster.
Did we say Alan
Where's he from?
Galagayev too?
Who's
We
that?
did. Big Z.
Galagayev. Yeah, we said him. Heinrich Barnes. Yep, that was the name.
Yeah, Ramazan Adasov. He's from Russia.
Yeah. So I am really surprised that there's not some enterprising coach from a smaller university.
It's a good plan and probably an easy pitch if the person doesn't mind leaving their home country for a handful of years to come over to America, get an education, hopefully get it paid for, and train while you're at it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like an easy sell for some people. I mean, especially some of those countries where wrestling is prevalent. The opportunity level and the amount of money they make is so much less than in America that it seems like it would be a relatively easy sell to go over there and get a connection with a club or two clubs and just kind of have them feed you.
That's probably where the issue is, just getting the initial connect.
Yeah.
And probably anyone who's wrestling at like cadets or junior worlds for a country is probably pretty good and not wanting to exactly leave their situation in their country. Maybe though. Speaking of which, Russian junior nationals are going on right now. If you're super hardcore into the international scene. There's some YouTube links, I think you can find them on.
Yaroslav Savakuski too, the heavyweight at Harvard.
That's the situation you want to get in. You come over, you get your Harvard degree.
Yeah, he's from Belarus. He came over while in high school. Did a couple years at a Massachusetts prep school. But yeah. All right. Well, that's all the cues from Fs that we have. Ben, you got anything else before we go on Wednesday?
Well, I heard we have something pretty cool to talk about tomorrow.
We will have some. Yes, we will have something very cool to talk about. We didn't hit on the new Beat the Streets matches, but right before we got started. Yeah. But right before.
Go ahead.
Just real quick. Sorry. I just want to say real quick. Victoria Francis, Alexander Glade. That got announced right as we were kicking the show off. They had a good match at Senior Nationals last year, but we can talk more about that tomorrow. And then we will have the big one, the headliner, to talk about tomorrow. That one dropping later this afternoon. So be around social media or your computers around 1 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tyler, you can go ahead and play us out. We will be back one final time for the week. Same crew, running it back one more time until Chris Piles either returns from vacation or doesn't return next week. We will find out together. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you Thursday.